So the Padres finally dive into free agency. I think they've acquired a very serviceable guy. This is a very different guy. Yuki Matsui is a 28-year-old left-hander in Japan. He spent his entire career there for 9 years. They got him on a 4-year, $21 million contract. I don't know if there's some options involved, but at $5 million per season for a proven commodity, not bad. 28 years old, had 38 saves this past season for the Rakuten Eagles in Japan. The fact that he spent 9 years in Japan means there's no posting fee. They just sign him.
Nice.
If he had been a 24-year-old or a rookie, you would have to pay a massive posting fee. They get him for whatever the base salary is. Nothing goes to his former club in Japan. Those are the positives. The strange part of this equation, you gave this amount of money on a guaranteed contract to a guy that's 5'8", weighs 170 pounds, and throws max 93 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. That's kind of strange. Those are not major league statistics. But he's got 4 pitches. He's crafty. He will be the left-handed version of what I guess Robert Suarez will be, the right-handed version. I also tend to think, John, this might be the only guy they could have afforded at this point in time with the constrictions to their payroll budget. Good acquisition. They got him for $5 million. That's cool. I'll ask this sidebar question. If you want to start screaming and yelling right now, it's a little early in the podcast. You know, the Padres refused to pick up the options that they had on Michael Wacha, who's 26-11 the last 2 years, or the option on Seth Lugo, who had a real good season as a starting pitcher. Those 2 guys wound up going to Kansas City for $16 million a year. $16 million seems to be the going rate right now for mid-rotation guys 3, 4, 5 in the rotation. So your reaction to the arrival of the left-hander, Matsui, and should the Padres have spent $16 million, if that's the price everybody else, including bad ball clubs, are willing to pay to go get Wacha and to go get Seth Lugo? Should the Padres have paid that price? John, the floor is yours.
This is interesting because, well, first, let's talk about Yuki Matsui. Yeah, he's a little guy, you know, and when I first saw the numbers, the ERA numbers were like really low. The guy sounds impressive, but 5'8", 5'9", I'm thinking that's like Billy Wagner, right? But
exactly. Bill Wagner threw the hell out of the ball. This guy doesn't. This is 93 miles an hour.
Yeah, so this is going to be the crafty lefty that's throwing all the junk.
You hope.
And maybe a nice contrast with Suarez and those 100-mile-an-hour bullets that he throws. So, hey, why not? This is not a bad pickup. I like it. He's not going to be a hater, that's for sure. But yeah, you know, Wacha, Lugo, those are the perfect back-end rotation guys. And now they all go to Kansas City. The Padres are the farm club for the Kansas City Royals.
And Nick Martinez went to Cincinnati for the same dollar figure.
Yeah, so that's the going rate for a quality back-end rotation piece. So what are the Padres going to do? Get a lower quality back-end rotation piece when this is all said and done?
Well, they couldn't afford state-of-the-art free agency. They're getting him for $5 million. Maybe it turns out to be a bargain. I trust Preller because Preller's boots on the ground have uncovered so many players, including a bunch of them abroad. But at the end of the day, they might have the worst pitching staff in the National League West right now because there's a big question mark as to who Yu Darvish will be coming off the bone spur in the elbow. And does Musgrove hold up? Capsule injuries are a real problem. So I hate to say it, but their pitching staff looks wafer thin and with lots of question marks and very little money left in the checking account, and pitchers coming off the board at an amazing pace now. There's not a lot of quality name pitchers available in free agency. But I trust Preller because he's found players. I just don't think he has enough pitchers right now.
Well, remember, historically, he would be quiet for a while, and all of a sudden it's Snell and Darvish and boom, 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 signing these guys or trading for him.
When he had money in the checking account.
Okay. Now, we'll see what happens. I mean, I think Trevor Bauer would be a great fit in San Diego, at least from a baseball perspective. Forget the PR side. But, I think a lot of those guys he sort of took a waiver on, that picked up that are 4A guys that are going to be depth pieces. I think he thinks maybe the boots on the ground maybe identified some of that talent.
Yeah. Well, it has in the past. I mean, he got 3 pitchers from Japan. And I recall I said on KUSI at the point they were spending this money on Luis Garcia and Suarez, and I said, and Nick Martinez, I said, "You're giving multi-year contracts at $5 to $7 to $8 million to these guys?" Well, these guys worked out. Just like a year ago, Walker worked out, and so did Seth Lugo. It's one-year rentals. But it's obvious to me they don't have a lot of money in the checking account now to go get guys like
We
that.
know who they could get that's cheap right now is Luis Patino.
Yeah,
You know,
but he's had elbow and shoulder issues. I mean, he just got let go, but who is he healthy? White Sox must not think so. They just let him go.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay,
But
so that's where we are with Padre baseball, looking under the Christmas tree. I'm not going to say it's a lump of coal, but right now they don't seem like they have a lot of gifts left to give. Let's go from that to